How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful, high difficulty melee setup that you guys could be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about what role every card plays in the deck and just everything like that. Now, the biggest difference from this melee build from the last melee build is that the previous melee build that I uploaded, I told you guys that you guys need to be on like common patrol and you guys need to really take 1v1s with special infected pretty much only when you need to. Like, if it's avoidable, you shouldn't take the 1v1 with a special infected. But I've kind of rearranged this melee list so that you guys can actually consistently take on special infected, because I found out that just like basically no matter what you do with melee, you're always gonna excel at killing common. And there's just really nothing you can do about that. You know, there's nothing you can do as a melee player to not be good at killing common. So I thought the best thing that I could do for this deck was try to make its weakness not really a weakness, and that was taking on special infected. Now, for the first category of cards that we got, these are all going to be cards that are going to make us swing faster, because that is going to be one of the main things that we want to be doing. Is we want to be swinging really fast and using less stamina than normal to do it. That is going to make it so we can plow through the common with absolutely no problem. And to start off this category, we have Method, which has each melee swing grants 5% melee speed and 5% melee stamina efficiency for 6 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. And our melee attacks are no longer going to stick in tough enemies, but it disables our aim down sights as a downside. Up next, we have Brazen, which is going to give us 15% melee stamina efficiency and 20% melee attack speed. And to round this category off, we have Slugger, which is going to give us plus 5 health, plus 10% melee stamina efficiency, and plus 20% melee attack speed. So all of these cards kind of do like the same thing nowadays. They all make you swing faster and use less stamina to do it. And the only semi-bad thing about this category is that, you know, Method obviously disables our ADS, but we're going to be a melee build and we're going to have a melee weapon out essentially 100% of the time unless we see like a sleeper or something, so this disabling ADS isn't really that bad. And I mean, if you want to, I didn't do it in this deck, but you can play a lot of other cards that disable your ADS, you know, cards like Motorcycle Helmet and stuff like that, but I elected not to. But just note that that's an option you guys can do, since, you know, you're going to be having no aim down sights essentially no matter what. Alright, and for the next category of the deck, we are going to be going through the stamina portion of it, because obviously with us being a melee deck, stamina is very important, and our stamina bar is kind of like our ammo reserve in a way, because we're not actually going to use any of our bullets that we're carrying in our pockets. We're only going to be using our stamina bar. And to start this category off, we have Adrenaline Fueled, which says when we kill an enemy, we gain 5 stamina instantly, and we get an additional 7 stamina over 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Up next, we got Rhythmic Breathing, which is just going to give us plus 40% stamina. And after that, we got Cross Trainers, which is going to give us plus 20% stamina, 20% stamina regen, 3% move speed, and plus 5 health. And the last card to round off this category is going to be Energy Bar, which is going to give us plus 30% stamina regeneration and plus 5 health. Now, the reason that I picked these cards specifically, because I was using some different cards in like the last build. I'm using Adrenaline Fueled because this is by far just the best stamina card in the game, simply because you can shoot infected and still proc Adrenaline Fueled. Like, it doesn't say when you melee an enemy, it just says when you kill an enemy, and it does proc when you shoot them. So I feel like Adrenaline Fueled is just the best stamina card out there right now. And Rhythmic Breathing is in here because it essentially almost gives us another half of our stamina for no downside. And I feel like, you know, in a deck like this, that is a really strong effect that we can utilize really well. Now, for Cross Trainers and Energy Bar, both of these cards are mainly in here just because of the stamina regen. I do think that stamina regeneration is a really strong statistic that we can utilize in melee. And in my previous version, I was using Natural Sprinter, which kind of went all in on the stamina regeneration. And I kind of noticed that I didn't like that. Like, I would rather just have a bigger stamina bar than have a little one regenerate faster. And it's not like we're ever going to really be out of stamina because we have like Adrenaline Fueled. And like I said, if you can't melee anything, just shoot a few common and you're just going to keep proccing Adrenaline Fueled over and over again. Alright, and this next category that we got is going to be damage. And to start it off, we have Berserker, which is each melee kill grants 5% melee damage, 5% melee speed, and 5% move speed for 3 seconds. Up next, we have Mean Drunk, which gives us plus 40% melee damage, but our melee attacks cause cleave through enemies, dealing damage in a large area. Up next, we have Spiky Bits, which is going to give us plus 20% melee damage, plus 20% damage resistance while using a melee weapon, but it has a downside of minus 15% ammo capacity, which doesn't matter because we're not going to be shooting things very often, so that's not really that big of a downside. Now, up next, we have Heavy Hitter, which is melee hits always stumble ridden the first time they are hit, and this effect can only occur once per target. And the last card to round off our damage is going to be Killer's Instinct, which is going to give us plus 30% weak spot damage, but it disables our ADS. And like I was talking about earlier with Method, we can play all the cards in the world that disable our ADS because like Method already does that, you know what I mean? We're not really taking anything more away from the deck. And I do feel like the addition of Killer's Instinct and Heavy Hitter, like this card was already in the deck, but Heavy Hitter was by far just our best card against the Special Infected because being able to just stumble them with one hit was really, really strong. And just the fact that you can use it as like a defense thing to, you know, get yourself away from a Special Infected, use it in an offensive way to save your teammates, it was just very, very strong. And now when we pair this with Killer's Instinct, I feel like we can very much reliably take on a lot of the bigger Special Infected. Like there's going to be Special Infected we obviously want to still avoid, like the Reekers, the Wretches, the Exploders. We want to stay away from those because those are still going to kill us, but in terms of like Hawkers, Stalkers, Tall Boys, any of those things, I do feel like now that we have that additional 30% weak spot damage, we can very reliably take them on. And I think that the big difference between a card like Killer Instinct and a card like Hyper Focus is like Killer Instinct is just hyper focused in this deck specifically without this downside, and Hyper Focused without this downside is really, really good. And the last category that we have for this deck is going to be like health regeneration, because if melee does one thing really, really well, it is gain a lot of health. And we are going to start it off with Battle Lust, which is going to say melee kills heal 1 health and 0.1 trauma. Up next, we have Face Your Fears, which is going to say we heal 1 temporary health whenever we kill a Ridden within 2.5 meters. That essentially says whenever we melee a Ridden, we are going to be getting 1 temporary health. And the last card in the deck is going to be Vanguard, which says melee kills heal 1 health to myself and teammates within 10 meters. So basically, when you combine all of these cards together, every single time we get a melee kill, we are going to be getting 2 regular health, 1 temporary health, and our teammates are possibly going to get 1 health as well, and we're going to be actively working to take away our trauma. Now, in the previous version of this deck, I wasn't playing Vanguard, and I really thought I was super tanky before when it was just Battle Lust and Face Your Fears, but let me tell you, when you get stuck on Common Patrol and you get to just, you know, kill so many Common, and, you know, each one does 0.1 trauma, this card is going to be absolutely phenomenal, because this card is going to make it so you don't need things like med kits and stuff like that to take all of your trauma away. Now, like, obviously this card isn't going to take you from all trauma to no trauma like instantly, but I do feel like this deck has access to like kind of chip away at that trauma damage, which I feel like most other decks in the game kind of can't do right now. And that's just like a really, really strong thing that melee can do, and I think that's one of the reasons that melee is pretty strong right now. Because not only can this deck like super wall up, because like I said, we're going to be gaining essentially 3 health every single time we kill something, and when we get commons and hordes of 80 to 100, like, we're just not going to die. And if we do get hit, any trauma damage that we do occur, more than likely Battle Lust is just going to help us take it away. Like, unless we take some excessive amounts of damage, like, you know, we get pinned by something and then a horde just absolutely lays into us. Like, for the most part, as long as we play smart, don't get, you know, caught by anything, Battle Lust is going to make it so we never have trauma damage.
Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make, and as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with, so if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.